Okay, let's dive in. Modern society, it seems, has really done a number on male health, hasn't it? At least according to one pretty provocative new ebook.
Yeah, it argues we've been fed this, constant stream of lies about nutrition.
So much so that the author calls it a graveyard of lies. And if you're ready to dig into that, maybe find some challenging truths, ooh, you're definitely in the right place.
Absolutely. Today we're tackling Conrad Riker's new ebook, The Nutrient Necropolis. And let's be clear, this is not your average diet book.
You're not at all.
Riker himself says it's a radical challenge to, well, pretty much everything you thought you knew was healthy. He doesn't hold back.
He really doesn't. Right from the preface, he says this book isn't for guys who are content slurping soy lattes, nodding along as lab-coated charlatans scold you about balanced diets.
Oof.
His words, he's writing for those, again, quoting here, sick of feeling like a gelded bull in a world hell-bent on replacing steak with sawdust.
Wow. Okay, so he sees it as more than just dietary advice.
Definitely. He calls it a rebellion, even a manual for patriarchs. The idea is helping you, the listener, build empires, outthink rivals, that kind of thing.
And the core claim is pretty intense. Modern nutrition is a graveyard of lies, and your manhood's buried in it.
Dark, isn't it?
Yeah. He alleges it's a century of lies sold by suits in boardrooms and white coats who want men docile, sick, and dependent. That's a very deliberate accusation.
A huge claim. And that's exactly what we're going to unpack today. This deep dive is basically your shortcut to understanding these raw truths and battlefield-tested tactics. Riker claims built empires and forged warriors.
He promises some real aha moments, strategies to dominate and rebuild your kingdom. Again, his framing.
Right. Now, before we get into the thick of it, if you find this valuable, please take a second to like and subscribe to this deep dive. It genuinely helps us out.
It does. And if this resonates, you can grab the full experience by getting the Nutrient Necropolis on Amazon, Kindle, and Google Play Books.
And for more insights straight from the author, definitely follow Conrad Riker. That's at Conrad Riker on Substack.
Okay, so let's start with the premise of this rebellion. Riker kicks things off with his own story, right? What got him started on this path?
Yeah, he talks about being 35, feeling completely off brain fog, losing muscle, and his testosterone levels were shockingly low. Like, lower than his teenage daughter's, as he puts it.
And this wasn't because he was living on junk food or anything.
No, that's the kicker. He says he was doing what the doctors told him. Statins, soy smoothies, the whole conventional package.
Huh. So that personal crisis basically pushed him to just, rip up the rule book.
Exactly. To expose what he calls this century of lies. And he contrasts his experience with some powerful historical examples.
The Roman legion?
Yeah, claiming they conquered continents on one meal a day. And then you have Inuit hunters thriving in frozen hellscapes eating blubber, not protein shakes.
Right, using these extreme examples to contrast with modern men who he says are, choking down heart-healthy cereal like a peasant?
Yeah, and wondering why they feel weak. But it's not just about habits. He goes after the science itself.
Oh yeah, the allegations against specific studies are pretty bold.
He claims the Framingham study, the big heart study, actually hid the cholesterol con.
Wow. And the Nurses' Health study.
He alleges it proved seed oils kill, but that wasn't the takeaway people got. And he accuses Harvard elites of basically cashing checks while low-fat dogma turned men into estrogenic husks.
Okay, those are fighting words. It really frames the whole book as this counter-narrative, this rebellion against the establishment.
Totally. He's very clear. The Nutrient Necropolis is not a diet book. It's a rebellion. His goal is showing you how to render tallow, crush vegan fairy tales, and feast like Caesar without becoming a bloated corpse.
And the promised results are pretty dramatic, too.
Oh, yeah. Your energy soars, your muscles roar, and your brain fires like a Gatling gun. He positions it as a manual for men who want to lead, win, and die old with grip strength that cracks walnuts.
Right, reclaiming that sort of primal power he thinks has been lost.
Exactly. So let's dig into the specifics now. How does he challenge these mainstream dogmas? First up, the protein deception. He really goes after the whole gym bro culture around protein.
Yeah, and he starts way back with the 1944 Minnesota starvation experiment.
Right. What's the takeaway there?
Well, he points out that subjects in that extreme study maintained muscle mass on just 50 grams of protein a day. 50 grams.
Which, makes you seriously question the current recommendation.
Right. He claims the USDA bumped the RDA from 50 to 70 gram in 1980, not because of new science, but because of beef lobbyists. No new science, he says, just alchemy.
And fast forward to today.
He cites a 2023 study showing guys downing protein shakes are often getting like 2.8 grams per kilo daily. That's way over the evidence-based limit of 1.6 G kilograms.
And he includes that cautionary tale, right? Greg Lindquist, the keto king.
Yeah, hospitalized from chugging 300 grams a day. Riker says his liver enzymes rival the Tijuana bartenders from all that glucose, the body basically struggling to turn excess protein into sugar.
He mentions bodybuilders pissing out ammonia, too.
From University of Texas research. Basically, their systems were overloaded.
Historically, he brings up gladiators.
Yeah, the barley men, he calls them. Mostly ate grains, occasional lentils, and Dave Draper, Mr. Universe in the 70s, apparently won on just 90 grams a day. Said it was work not Walmart tubs of powder.
Then the Inuit again, thriving on blubber and caribou, 0 protein shakes.
Right. He uses this to attack the $24 billion supplement industry. Says it's selling men solutions to problems that don't exist.
He even has that simple risk measuring trick as a free Praxa calculator for protein needs, kind of mocking the complex formulas.
And he sees this protein push as a long-term marketing thing. From 1950s protein bread ads playing on insecurity to, modern TikTok gurus.
What about the insulin spike study?
Yeah, University of Basel, 2019. Found 40 grams of whey-spiked insulin higher than white bread. He even tells a story about some guy injecting insulin just for muscle gains. Crazy.
There's the CrossFit coach example too, Mike P.
Right, developed prediabetes on 250 grams daily. Then supposedly hit PRs when he switched to sweet potatoes and rice because his liver wasn't working overtime converting protein to glucose anymore.
And the ancient Greeks. Figs, cheese, olive oil, no powder.
Exactly. All marble statues. Riker quips. But he also flags modern danger. Johns Hopkins finding spiking liver enzymes in keto dieters. High protein linked to kidney stones in NEJM.
He's very critical of the Game Changers documentary too.
Oh yeah. Claims it was funded by vegan and soy interests. Pushes plant protein. His challenge. Name one vegan silverback gorilla.
And the stuff in the powders. Lead, arsenic, BPA.
According to that clean label project analysis, yeah. Pretty concerning. His bottom line is simple. Eat your steak. Skip the 4 a.m. casein sludge. Focus on real food.
Okay, next section. Carb warfare. Brain fuel or betrayal.
This really pushes back against the anti-carb trend.
Totally. He starts with a great historical hook. Spitfire pilots and WWII.
Using sugar cubes. Yeah, apparently dropped their reaction times by 0.2 seconds in dogfights. He calls carbs biological warfare in that context. High-stakes performance fuel.
And he contrasts that with Keto Katie crying in a bakery.
Right, that vivid image of brain fog and desperation trying to microwave protein bars.
Oh.
He mentions Dave Asprey needing white rice to function better too.
What about the hormonal impact?
He cites that 2020 JAMA study in men on keto having 20% lower testosterone. Suggests it's because mitochondria burn carbs more efficiently, like 28% faster than fat.
And the Hadza tribe example.
Yeah, eating 70% carbs, honey, fruit, tubers, and apparently staying incredibly fit into old age. Outpacing Olympic marathoners, he claims.
So what's his actual carb protocol?
Carb cycling. Around 100 grams post-workout from things like sweet potatoes or rice. Then maybe 50 grams on rest days.
He mentions a hedge fund manager whose brain fog lifted with sushi.
Right, and cites a Nutrient study showing the brain burns way more glucose, like 60% more, during complex decisions, fueling the engine.
The CrossFit gym injury spike anecdote is interesting too.
Banning rice led to more injury, bringing back sweet potatoes fixed it. He links this need for carbs to historical warriors, samurai, with rice balls, Korean esports teams with glucose gels.
Performance fuel, basically.
Yeah, and recovery too. He mentions a Stanford study showing meat eaters recovered 43% faster from HIIT than vegans.
But didn't low-carb diets also tank testosterone in another study?
Yeah, another 2020 JAMA study he cites showed a 37% drop in T levels for men on strict low carb, possibly because SHBG, the hormone that binds testosterone, skyrocketed.
So his advice is cyclic carbing. Feast like an emperor on training days, Spartan rations on rest days.
Pretty much. He even has that story about the guy adding raw honey to coffee and his wife needing a babysitter later. Suggests a direct T boost, Mongol warriors, fermented mare's milk, the Rock eats 400 gram daily. It's all about strategic use.
Then he pivots hard into blaming big food, the Crisco example.
Yeah, Betty Crocker pushing it for healthier hearts in 56, while his own grandmother died young. Says the AHA took decades to admit error on fat.
And the fiber thing. Kellogg's all brand.
He says the colon cancer prevention claims from the 80s weren't backed up by later studies, though colons were cleaner. He blames the 92 food pyramid, with its 611 bread servings, on grain industry lobbying, linking it to the obesity spike.
And he goes after what the health again?
Claims it pushed meat causes diabetes while being funded by vegan interests tied to a crypto scheme. His simple rule for carbs, stick to white rice. If it doesn't mold within a week, neither will your enemies. Very provocative.
Okay, now on to fat wars. Animal versus seed oils exposing the industrial coup. This is where he gets really intense about fat sources.
It does. Starts right off alleging a 1911 Crisco ad used a fake doctor who was actually a P&G investor to demonize lard.
Then the story about the Polish butcher jailed for refusing Crisco.
Stanislaw Kowalski, 1920. Riker claims the judge owned P&G stock, painting a picture of corporate conspiracy from the start.
What's the metabolic math he talks about?
That seed oils oxidize way faster, like 400% faster, than animal fats when heated. He links this directly to heart attack rates tripling between 1910 and 1950, claiming the AHA excluded this data.
He contrasts the cost too, right? Lard versus avocado oil?
Yeah, like $2 versus 64.
Yeah.
And durability, his great-grandma's cast iron skillet versus modern non-stick pans.
And he quotes that alleged P&G memo. Lard's fatal flaw is its availability.
Right, implying a deliberate strategy to push peasants away from self-sufficiency and towards industrial products. Claims 93% of restaurant fryers now use seed oils, many owned by P&G shareholders.
The VA experiment with margarine is pretty damning if true.
Allegedly tripled PTSD relapse rates, and seed oil-fed POWs developing plaque while one survived on lard and millet. Stark contrast.
He really slams the marketing. Wesson Oil's jingle supposedly hinting at shortening lifespan.
Yeah, and the idea that seed oils lower cholesterol by turning arteries into an oxidized LDL junkyard calls linoleic acid molecular sandpaper.
Autopsy evidence from the 50s showing tarred artery.
That's his claim. But he also sees a modern pushback, like that Montana rancher's viral video about rendering bison fat, leading to the hashtag seed oil survivors hashtag.
The chef who lost a Michelin star for using duck fat.
Marco DuPont. Then his banned fat steakhouse supposedly out-earned the old place. And the FDA raid on the Wisconsin lard maker, whose grandson now sells tons of tallow. It's a rebellion narrative.
So what are his practical tiers for fats?
God tier is callow lard, saint tier is butter ghee, and peasant tier is olive avocado, but only for cold use. He stresses the simplicity. 18 chemical processes for seed oils versus just heat for tallow.
The 93-year-old Cretan butcher story is memorable.
Frying lamb and lard daily, outliving his doctor. And the Wynn study, one sister getting fatty liver on seed oils, the other winning athletic medals, cooking with lard.
He connects linoleic acid to dementia risk too, from Framingham data.
Claims every 1% increase hikes, risk 62. Cites alleged corporate memos showing awareness of obesity links back in 80s. And the really dramatic claim, Alzheimer's didn't exist before Crisco.
Wow. And his fix for this oxidative damage.
Protocol involving saunas, beef liver capsules, and tallow and coffee. Pretty hardcore.
Okay, shifting focus slightly. Feast, famine, and dominance. Strategic eating for power. This is about when and how often we eat.
Exact. Starts with those 1943 Pittsburgh steelworkers.
One massive 4,000 calorie meal at noon.
Yeah, and supposedly outlifting modern gym goers. His point, body needs focused energy, not constant grazing. Can't digest a salad and deadlift a Buick simultaneously, as he puts it.
Medieval knights fasting before battle for focus.
Right. Contrast that with snacking all day. He brings up autophagy, the cellular cleanup process triggered by fasting, referencing Nobel winner Osumi. Suggests skipping breakfast for a week can kickstart it.
Caesar's troops marching on empty stomachs compared to modern struggle.
The Silicon Valley CEO fasting 20 hours, becoming a predator in business. Very evocative language.
What about the science behind fasting benefits?
He cites the Endocrine Society on a 14% testosterone boost, JMA on slashing insulin resistance by 50%, mentions Navy SEALs Hell Week sharpening cognition under stress, and BDNF brain fertilizer spiking 200% after 3 days of fasting.
He really debunks the breakfast is king idea.
Calls it a Kellogg's ad campaign from 1940, points to a BMJ meta-analysis finding no link to weight loss, and historical examples like Romans and Spartans eating less frequently.
The dangers of eating late.
University of Barcelona study linking eating after 7 p.m. to higher diabetes risk. Night shift workers gaining more fat due to melatonin messing with insulin production.
So what's his circadian plate protocol?
Load up early. 50% of calories before 3 p.m., 35% by 6 p.m., only 15% for snacks, fasting from 5 p.m. to 8 a.m. Roman hours. He even brings in Byzantine Emperor Basil II, banning ministers from eating late to keep them sharp. Claims front-loading calories improves decision-making and boosts free T. WII pilots hitting more targets after early dinners.
Okay, now the big one, testosterone. Food as patriarchy, reclaiming male vitality. This is central to his thesis.
Absolutely. Starts with Spartans in 480 BC, throwing lentils in the river.
Calling them food for slaves and eunuchs.
Yeah, linking their diet directly to being history's most lethal infantry. A direct connection between food and masculine power, as he sees it.
And the MMA fighter, Derek Thompson.
Carnivore diet supposedly took his T from 450 to 890. Contrasted with Jack Jake, the vegan bodybuilder allegedly needing synthetic tea.
He cites surveys on vegans experiencing libido crashes.
Yeah, the 2022 Vegan Health Survey, 72% reporting issues. And the Human Reproduction Journal showing soy eaters with 14% higher estrogen leads to his provocative term, man boobs, as biochemical mutiny.
The historical claims about soy are pretty wild too. Buddhist monks using it for chemical castration.
That's his claim. And alleging the game changers hid footage of vegan athletes needing naps. Says the USDA's soy push in the 50s was just about WWII surplus, not health. Cites Copenhagen research on tofu hurting sperm counts.
Mike Gaines, the guy juicing tea while eating quinoa, a walking meme, he says.
Right. The warning about oxalates, referencing James Harrison, the NFL player, hospitalized from green smoothies causing kidney stone.
His solution is pretty blunt. Try steak. Do a 30-day carnivore challenge.
Very direct. He calls liver alpha gel, citing Genghis Khan's warrior, notes its huge B12 content, links it to lower depression rates. Big Hank Thompson, the rancher, lifting 500 pounds on daily liver.
And eggs. Eggzilla, Mr. Olympia 78, eating 100 a week.
Yeah. Calling eggs biological warfare against mediocrity, embracing the cholesterol.
Oysters for zinc.
6 oysters giving 500% daily zinc, proven to spike free T by 30%. Casanova slooping 50 a night. It's all very virile imagery. He contrasts wild-caught fish, more omega-3s, and venison boosts IGF-1 with farmed version. Mentions Alaskan hunters with super high T from Elkhart and Salmon Row. Advocates a hunter's breakfast.
Then boron from raisin, his grandfather's moonshine, and 12 kids.
Yeah. But also cites a 2020 study. Raisins boosting free T by 28%. College wrestlers dropping pin time. Ottoman janissaries using raisin paste. Suggested testosterone trail mix soaked in bourbon.
He views plants very negatively, doesn't he? Chemical warfare.
Oxalates, lectins, estrogens, spinach having more oxalates than antifreeze, medieval peasants avoiding it, hexane processing of soy protein.
The vegan betrayal stories are quite something. Oxalate crystals in urine, CrossFit athletes collapsing, patchier beards.
Right. He emphasizes humans lack enzymes like cellulase to digest plants properly. Tells the story of the Miami firefighter failing a test on a vegan diet, recovering after a 72-hour steak bender.
And the historical dietary control claim. Stalin's gulags using potatoes to sap defiance.
Yeah, very provocative. Alleges hidden cams caught a company adding animal enzymes to vegan powders. It's a narrative of constant deception.
Okay, let's talk milk. Milk, survival tool or scam, pasteurized truth. Another area where he goes against the grain hard.
Big time. Starts alleging a 1952 USDA deal with steel tub makers mandated pasteurization, calling it a $2 billion windfall that destroyed raw milk's natural enzymes.
The Wisconsin guy reversing osteoporosis with raw milk, then getting raided by the FDA.
Jason, yeah. Illustrates the official resistance Riker sees.
What's the French paradox on dairy?
France eating tons of raw milk cheese, yet having way lower hip fracture rates than low-dairy China. He credits raw milk's enzyme. Notes the irony. Aged raw cheese is legal, fresh raw milk isn't.
He blames processed foods for manufactured lactose intolerance.
Yes, his cases surged 400% since the 70s, wrecking gut linings. Contrast this with Maasai warriors chugging raw milk daily, having large LDL particles that he claims don't cause heart attacks.
And he slams the Got Milk campaign.
Calls it a $200 million PR stunt to distract from rising complaints about digestion.
The 1936 German strength coach chugging raw milk before a massive deadlift is a powerful image.
Jürgen Seal, yeah. And the claim about 750,000 pus cells allowed per liter in pasteurized milk is pretty shocking.
Clint Iron John McAllister jailed for selling liquid steak.
His raw milk supposedly had way more lactoferrin, now runs a successful underground moo network. Riker also claims Big Pharma lobbied against raw milk because its natural IGF-1 competed with growth hormone drugs.
Kenyan marathoners crediting raw goat milk, better gut bacteria.
Yeah, 40% more butyrate producers, he claimed. Better gut health. He argues pasteurization creates inflammatory oxystrols from cholesterol, citing that UC Davis study about them binding to arterial walls faster.
And pushing tofu for calcium while ignoring dairy-rich Netherlands having lower osteoporosis rates than Japan.
Right. Points to medieval knights eating cheese and fermented butter. Calls lactose-free milk a farce ultra-heated milk with synthetic enzymes added back, while raw milk has it natural.
The Boston Marathon runner improving his time with raw milk and honey.
Like, yeah, dropping 12 minutes. And Sarah Blythe's bloating from almond milk resolving with raw dairy. Finally, citing studies showing raw milk has dozens of probiotic strains. Pasteurized has none. And that gut journal study is suggesting many lactose-intolerant people are actually reacting to seed oils and dairy products. It's a complete inversion of mainstream advice.
Okay, moving into reclaiming core biological function. First up, salt. The electrolyte heist, challenging decades of low-salt advice.
Yeah. Starts by contrasting the AHA calling salt public enemy number 1 in 53, with 2023 Harvard research linking low sodium to higher heart failure risk.
The Maasai drinking blood and ash, yet having low blood pressure.
Right. Contrasted with CrossFit Kyle ending up in the ER with hyponatremia from drinking too much plain water.
Medieval peasants drinking beer for salt and minerals, not just water. Marathon runners risking seizures from overhydration. NASA astronauts needing salt.
Exactly. He points out the origin of salary is salarium, the Roman salt allowance. Quantifies the need. 5 grams minimum for 2 liters of sweat.
The hold your wee for a wee contest death is horrifying.
Water intoxication, yeah. Diluted sodium leading to seizures. Said 16 marathon runners died similarly since 2002. Underscores the danger of just chugging water.
British sailors using grog, fog with salt. Modern wellness warriors with reverse osmosis disappoint. The CEO collapsing after using a hydration app.
He simplifies it. Clear pea is bad, pale yellow is good. Mocks expensive ionic salt as basically road salt.
The paradox of bodybuilders avoiding salt but guzzling potassium.
Yet adding salt boosts endurance by 21% in studies. He links historical salt riots to Whole Foods, charging $8 for pink salt, commodifying a basic need.
What's his electrolyte cheat code?
Simple stuff. Morton salt, no salt for potassium, magnesium citrate, all in water. Cites samurai using salt, a rancher hitting 1100 T salting ribeyes. Links night shift fat gain to disrupted sodium rhythm. Cites a Stanford trial showing better endurance when salt is consumed earlier in the day. Circadian timing matters.
Okay, next controversial topic. Fiber, the unnecessary burden.
Start strong. 1928 study showing Inuit ate zero fiber, had almost no constipation, hemorrhoids, colon cancer, while modern men down psyllium husk shakes.
Cites a meta-analysis showing fiber supplements often cause bloating, gas, cramp.
Yeah, 68% of users reported issues. Tells the story of the CrossFit coach whose digestion massively improved after ditching oatmeal for steak and eggs. Poop like a Roman emperor.
Traces the fiber fetish back to Victorian doctors prescribing bran to stop masturbation. Serious.
That's his claim. And Kellogg pushing cornflakes as a broom for the bowels. Alleges cereal lobbyists funded fiber studies exposed in Gut Check.
Claims fiber fuels firmicutes bacteria linked to weight gain, and the Crohn's patient whose symptoms vanished after switching to steak.
Right. He warns about the 3-day dirt nap adaptation phase if you quit fiber cold turkey. Tells that story about his wife sneaking sweet potato into his ribeye as culinary incompatibility.
The IBD patient whose colon became pristine as a Viking shield on Kobe beef. His line, herbivores get eaten, lions don't nibble quinoa. Cites Stanford study showing less bloating in carnivores. Genghis Khan didn't use arugula.
Warns again about plant chemical warfare. Oxalates, lectins, phytoestrogens. Spinach having more oxalates than antifreeze. Kellogg patenting cornflakes as an anti-masturbatory tool. Wild stuff. Claims his sanitarium menu influenced USDA guidelines.
The 1953 Grape Nuts ad. Keep him regular and obedient. San Quentin prisoners developing rectal prolapse on brand diets.
Grim detail. Alleges Kellogg spent millions lobbying USDA for mandatory roughage. Cites a study linking high fiber to higher appendicitis rates. Argues fiber creates dependency.
Grandpa Gus living to 99 on ribeyes and whiskey with a pristine colon. France and Argentina having lower colon cancer rates.
Contrasting examples. Cites a Harvard meta-analysis. IBS patients slashing fibrosol symptoms dropped 72%. MMA fighter ditching beans and broccoli. Contrasts Roman gladiators, barley gruel, arthritis, parasite, with Maasai blood, milk, meat.
Finally, under reclaiming function, water, the hydration trap, challenging the drink constantly mantra.
Starts with a Texas construction worker, Dave McAllister, ditching his Nalgene, drinking only when thirsty, and his kidney stones disappearing. Energy spike.
Highlights hyponatremia danger. Again, the CrossFit guy chugging 10 liters, ending up in the hospital. 37% of marathon runners risking seizure.
Points out historical hydration wasn't just water. Roman wine mixers, medieval weak beer. Calls alkaline mineral water a scam. Chemically identical to tap water. Cites the NFL player collapsing from overhydration.
Emphasizes thirst as the real signal, kicking in after electrolyte loss. Cravings for pickles or cheese are better guides. Pea color again. Clear is bad, pale yellow good.
Grandpa's whiskey-laced longevity. Korean War POWs. Pork fat broth drinkers retained muscle. Vegetable oil drinkers got clogged arteries. Bone broth repaired gut walls.
The MMA fighter ditching Gatorade for marrow brew, cutting water weight without cramps. Coca-Cola allegedly painting bone broth as peasant swill while pushing sugar water.
Samurai brewed green tea. Vikings fermented mead. Argues bottled water is a deception. National Academy of Sciences admitted in 74 humans hydrate fine through food coffee, 8 glasses a day, as Coca-Nestle marketing.
His Italian grandmother drinking espresso and Chianti, scoffing at water. Cites NIH study. Coffee drinkers retain electrolytes better. The tech CEO replacing water with espresso, adding salt, sharpening focus.